Hello everybody.
Partito il conto alla rovescia.
Sì. Hello everybody. Thank you for being here and welcome to our session on boosting GLAM partnerships with technology and statistics. I'm Deborah Lopomo, GLAM Program and Partner Manager at Wikimedia Switzerland, and I have with me on board Ilario Valdelli, Education and Community Manager, also at Wikimedia Switzerland.
Hello.
Can you go with the slides on? So we're about to start, and la prossima, the next one. Thanks. So in the opening speech today, we heard many reflections on the past, the present, and the future. And we also had to reflect upon it. And that's why I would like to start with a quote from Sarah Springmann. She's the rector of the ETH Zurich, representing the present in our GLAM work in Switzerland. And as you can see and read, she says, I greatly value Wikipedia and make sure to donate to it regularly. I suggested to host an editathon in March 2020 and was very impressed by the results. Well, today, the ETH Library, the largest public scientific and also technical library in Switzerland, and National Center for Scientific and Technical Information, is one of our most active GLAM partner and major contributor to our project. So far, the ETH Library donated over 58,000 images on Wikimedia Commons, generating more than 166 million views. And they continue to digitize and organize its own Wikipedia workshops and especially projects. Next. Thank you. I put together two recent highlights just for you, if you have time and you're interested in to look into it. The newest project is very ambitious. They have the goal of having a Wikipedia article with portrait pictures for all their ETH professors by 2030. There are many other highlights here, some examples. So by clicking on the blog report link from one very nice project on aerial photographs by Swiss aerial pioneer Walter Mittelholzer and his successor Werner Friedl, you will see that they integrate actually statistics out of our GLAM tool. So the ETH library is basically also part of our GLAM Wiki network in Switzerland and has been one of the drivers to request actually a statistical tool that measures the impacts of the project, of the Wikimedia projects. So for us, this was basically the start to engage with our GLAM partners to be able to basically develop a tool that does fulfill their requirements on statistics. So we learned from the past and understand the present, and the strengthening of the partnership, this is just really only an example of many others, was possible, I think, really because of these numbers. Because even if the ETH library has an open access strategy, that means that they offer their holdings, digitized holdings, to download under a free license already. They have realized that by uploading their images to Wikimedia Commons and to illustrate articles, basically also their web archive has had a significant increase in views and traffics. And so this is basically why we think that measuring the impact of Wikimedia project is a key success factor to develop and strengthen GLAM partnerships in the world. Next, please. So just like any other organization or company, a memory institution, this is what we have experienced here in our country, must report and justify its engagement and resource allocation in Wikimedia projects. Therefore, statistics proving a major increase in visibility and traffic on their digitized sections, as well as valorization and usage across borders, languages, and cultures are key. Next, please. So basically, because of that, the Cassandra project has been launched. For the ones who are very new to this, who have never heard about this project, maybe I have to go look a little bit if I can see some attendees here who is in the session. No, unfortunately not. I just would like to summarize a little bit what is Cassandra. Cassandra is a statistical tool to basically measure the impact of Wikimedia project and also to analyze and define activities to improve the impact of this project. It supports GLAM institutions in monitoring media files uploaded in Wikimedia Commons. And the project has been launched in 2015 in collaboration with our Swiss GLAM partner network, due, as said before, to their urgent request and the need for such an application. And basically, Ilario has been there since many long time at Wikimedia Switzerland, long before me, and he actually has been the first person and the first contact, and also the project manager of the first release of Cassandra. So also all the technical knowledge. He has been there from the beginning, and then I took it over, and we're still developing together. He's still responsible for many technical issues, and we consult each other. But basically, then we redesigned it a little bit in the coming year. So the basic goal was to produce or to develop a really reliable and consistent application for this purpose. And we work together with not only with the museums, but as I said, also with universities, with libraries, with archives. So it does encompass the requirements and the needs from the whole GLAM institutions, the main GLAM institutions we have in Switzerland. Next, please. Ilario, can you hear me? Thank you. So I put together a little project timeline. So you see the launch was in 2015, and basically afterwards, 2015, 16, 17 was the main time where the requirement engineering took place. And then testing and the first official release, the first prototype, was then in 2018, also in the first half year of 2018. Afterwards, we presented it together in October 2018, first time at the Wikicon, the German Wikicon that took place the first time in Switzerland, in St. Gallen. And afterwards, we submitted a project presentation for the GLAM Wiki conference in Tel Aviv. Due to that, now I see that is something going on. I see a pink slide with nothing. Do we have some technical issues or everything is still fine?
Well, now it's fine. We lost you for some seconds.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now it's fine. Okay, thank you. So the project Cassandra raised basically a lot of interest throughout the Wikimedia movement on this conference in Tel Aviv. and led afterwards to a technical stress testing with the Wikimedia Foundation, and also the integration of additional requirements from the international community, such as, for example, adding a control panel to make it more easy for staff, Wikimedia staff, to basically add GLAM institution to the tool without having really knowledge, developing knowledge or IT knowledge. Plus, we did a lot of additional functionalities like statistical drill downs on category level, selection of time aspects for graph visualizations, unused media file statistics, and so on and so on. So basically, the results of the stress testing and also all the other aspects are defining the technical setup and architecture that we are following now for expanding and sharing this project to the wider movement. So maybe now I talked a lot. Let's have a look at Cassandra. Okay, so here you see the landing page. This is how Cassandra looks like. Basically, on the left-hand side, you have the institutions, a list of institutions. If you click on it, and all the participating GLAM institutions are visualized, and by clicking on any of these institutions, as it's all open, there is no access code or login or anything. So that means every institution can see the statistics of the other institution. Every other person who knows the web address can access the statistics. So it's really open. So by clicking on one of the institutions, you can navigate and access the single GLAM partner view. This is the example now of the ETH library. It's a little bit older screenshot because in the meantime, they have up to 58,000 plus images uploaded. So you see basically how many total media files have been uploaded in the tool. You can click on, no, can you go back? Sorry. You can click on the link directly and access the media contributed by ETH library on Wikimedia Commons so that you see all the uploaded files directly. And the tool has the following functionalities. The main functionalities and statistics are, for one, the category network that I'm gonna go through just shortly through every single functionality. We have statistics about user contribution. We have statistics about usage of media files across Wikimedia projects. We have, of course, the views that are the statistics that interest the most of our GLAM partner and probably every single GLAM in the world. And we have the suggestions. And also we integrated a very general, simple file search functionality. If you in all these 58 or thousands of pictures, you're looking for a just statistic for one single image and you know the name of it. So next, please. So this is how the category network looks like. So on the top, you see that there is basically a drop-down menu where it says the historical image. This is now an example of the canton of Zurich. This was our prototype to develop the tool, so they don't have much media, but they are very good structured. So on top, you see you have a drop-down menu showing on the main category, the media contributed by the canton of Zurich at all. But if you would click on it, you can also search and see all the subcategories that the canton of Zurich has in Wikimedia Commons. Then on the left-hand side, you see that the canton of Zurich has a very good structure of categories in Wikimedia Commons. They have 6 levels. So that means it's easier and good to find whatever they have uploaded if you search for a single image. And yes, and on the right-hand side, you actually have by level and by total all the images that are available, and you can click on it and then also see the details. So if we go to the next slide. Exactly. So in case you click on one of these dots in the graph, it will show you on the right-hand side the category of images that you clicked on in the graph. That means if you have a lot of images and a lot of subcategories and you cannot find it on the side, if you click somewhere, or if you also would go by the drop down menu in the top bar, you would basically, it would pop up in the top of the list so that you can access it. And it also shows you all the files that are integrated into the category with the direct links to the Commons files. Next, please. The next one, this is something we integrated because, I mean, as said, loading massive images on Wikimedia Commons, but not using them, not illustrating them, not knowing even which one are used or not, because it's really not visible. How can you find out which ones are used in projects and which were not? We have implemented this functionality. It's a switch button where you can just switch to unused media files. And then it shows you directly, okay, now the same category, you see the Grendel tour. Maybe if we go back, Ilaria, one more time, back one slide. You see there is 25 files, and then we go down, now one slide forward. You see that out of the 25, 11 have not been used nowhere, and you can click on it and know which one they are. And further afterwards, I show you that it goes even further than that. So this is basically the category network, just in very short time explained. Maybe we can meet later on one of the table on the 10th floor to discuss further about all this if you're interested. But for now, let's go forward. Next slide, please. So then we have also the user contributions. Here it just shows you who is contributing how much, in which time frame, and so on. You can select view by year, by months, by day, and so on. You can sort by name or by most contribution, less contribution, and so on. We go one slide further. And then we also have, if you, let's say, click on a user, it tells you exactly when and how many images this person has uploaded over the time. So basically, the blue graph is always the total contribution from everybody who has ever contributed anything. And then if you click on somebody, the beige brown color in the graph shows you, okay, this is the contribution from this respective person. Let's go further. Well, now we come to the usage. This is, I think, very interesting for everybody. This is now, again, the canton of Zurich, so it's not many pictures there. But you see on the top, you see the distinct media used out of 800 something. The screen is here, is pretty small. 300 something have been used in projects. And it tells you also how many projects were involved and how many pages were enhanced. So you have a little bit, I think for GLAM institution, this is really interesting because besides all this, you can go and look where are these images used, in which language Wikipedias in the world are they used, in how many language the articles have been translated, and so on. So it's really what's the goal of valorization. It's, I think, really, really something great. So let's go further. So here also we can click on an image and then it tells you in the graph in which of the project, the top 10 projects that this image has been used in. with the percentage, so that you know, okay, here, of course, in Switzerland, the German Wikipedia and the English Wikipedia, these are the most ones that are used. But you can see, and you can also like this pull off projects and see, okay, we can maybe improve the usage in some other projects and so on. Let's go one more forward. Then we have, of course, also the detail view, where we see the exact image and then a summary of the statistics. Let's go more down, one more down. So here you see basically the blue graph. It shows you either the category of, if you have chosen a category where the file is in the subcategory, the blue graph will show you the sum of the category views, and the green line shows you in comparison just the file views. Also sortable by time frame, and you have a scroller, so every time you scroll over it, it shows you in the top, it shows you exactly the date or the time frame you have chosen, and then the total views and the respective file views. And then on the right hand side, it gives you really a little bit a summary of all the projects and statistics that are relevant for this single image. Next slide. So now this is the views or clicks. Here actually the same on the top. You see this is now a graph which shows you the whole, all the pictures uploaded, so the main category by year. No, sorry, views by week, sorry. But you can, of course, choose a different time frame. So we can go one further. So this shows you the blue line is by months for the same, the whole, all the category. And you have also a cursor that then if you scroll over, it shows you exactly the numbers. It's a little bit difficult to take a screenshot with the scrolling over. And then again, here it shows you also, if you click also here in comparison, the file view. And then if we go one more, and this looks like if you choose the weekly view. And then if you ask yourself, what is this, the bar down with this, the gray underlined graph, this is just in the tool, you can just make this gray bar smaller and bigger, and then it adapts intuitively the graph to be the exact the time frame that you choose. Next slide. Here we have the suggestions. This is something great. So here we have basically developed an algorithm that suggests unused media files to be integrated in Wikipedia articles with a direct link to the respective article. So this is, I think, something that especially also for the community and the people that do editathons, that want to create quality, this is something great, because here it gives you a possibility to search by topic, search by category. Let's say if we go one slide further, you see. Okay, this not yet. This one here, we see that it gives you suggestion on for different articles that this image could be interesting to integrate, plus also different articles in different languages that it's not there yet. And then if we go one more, we have here on the top, you see here, I just chose the Augustiner Tor, one category out of the Canton of Zurich's subcategories, and then it just will give me suggestion for these subcategories. So you can also search for topics or categories or whatever that you're interested in, and then it will give you the images for this category. We have extended this functionality. In this screenshot, you will not see it. There is a dismiss button. Let's say if all the articles have been already illustrated, if this is really not needed. Or of course, in Commons, we have not only super quality institutions pictures, we have also event pictures, and they may be also under the category, and there is maybe pictures that you don't want to see in the suggestion. So you have the opportunity to dismiss one of these pictures so that the algorithm learns and doesn't suggest you this type of pictures where it's more event oriented and less maybe quality pictures for articles. Next. And yeah, last but not least, we have also integrated a dashboard, which is just a summary of the main statistics for a GLAM. So they see in one screen how many views since they uploaded the first picture in Commons have they generated. What is the cumulative view? What is the changes on the views? Statistic about the usage. Maybe if you go one further, I have a smaller screenshot. Also on the usage and how much percentage of the uploaded file have been used, and how so you know how much work is still to do, and also on the uploads. So it's just a summary dashboard of the major metrics that a GLAM, at least in Switzerland, is interested. Maybe in a global project, we're gonna extend this these metrics in the dashboard. That's up to see. Next. So we have also a control panel for the staff so that we can set up very easily. It looks a little bit like that. It's very simple made, 2-3 steps. And in 24 hours of time, the statistics are calculated and the GLAM is up and running. Next, I don't think we need it. Next. So now I talked a lot and I would like to hand over to Ilario. Thank you.
Yes. So what is important, Deborah told, is that this project has not been created by Wikimedia Switzerland sitting in a table, but this project tried to identify the needs of GLAM. So it was where the GLAM to ask this project. Why? Because they donated a lot, but they don't have the control of what is happened to their donation. This is why they asked to have a tool to improve the Wikipedia articles, but also to improve their presence, the presence of their donation in the articles. So now the concept is good, has a lot of success among different GLAMs. They understand also the concept of open access, open data, and consider also the advantage of this philosophy. And this is creating also a lot of interest in donation in other partners. So they create a model that can be replicated by their GLAM, and they are the first, let's say, evangelists of this model. Okay, why Cassandra is different from other projects? Why we didn't use existing tools? For the simple reason that these tools were limited, exactly to don't overload the servers of Wikimedia Foundation, for instance. So this is why before starting the interface, we have worked a lot in the architecture to have a reliable architecture, to have a flexible architecture, and a professional service. This is most important. GLAM cannot justify a service that doesn't work because, for instance, volunteer cannot take care of the